And as you enjoy lying down here, rooting down, check through your chakras. Start at the root, Muladhara, base of the spine, lovely red energy. Check in with Swadhisthana, sacral chakra, just below your navel. Lower back, lower digestive issues. And then Manipura chakra, which is above your navel and the mid part of your body in the mid back. Upper digestive linked with your liver and pancreas. Check in with your heart, Anahata, and the area in the back of the body, upper back, arms, shoulders, all the way down to hands is Anahata. And then throat, which is also very linked with your lower jaw, Vishuddhi, lovely pale blue here. About how you communicate, how you talk to yourself as well. Third eye, Ajna, lovely indigo here, between the brows, that second or sixth sense, the other sight beyond our eyes. And then crown, Sahasrara, just above the top of your head. And these 7 chakras are the main chakras, but we actually have many, many more around the body and within the body. So we will start with our stretches. I'm going to join you lying down. And then when you next inhale, taking your right arm up and over, let the hand fall to the floor behind you. And then bring the toes up on the right foot. Just flex, and then we'll start to lengthen through the body here. Stretching the leg down, lifting the arm up, and a nice spread of the fingers and the palm of the hand as well. And then we'll point our toes and enjoy that stretch over the ankle, how it feels on the shin, round the knee, and the top of the leg. And then when you're ready, we'll exhale, arm can float down. Take the palms up for a moment, just relax the back. And then we'll do the same the other side, left side, inhale, arm over. And flexing the foot, same again, just enjoy the stretch. Lowering the leg, lifting the arm, and then pointing the toes. And then exhale, arm down. Palms up, Shavasana for a moment. And then on your next inhale, taking both arms over. And maybe the chin will naturally tuck in, and then we can just flex the feet and point the toes and flex again and work the ankles backwards and forwards. And start to maybe lift the arms a little bit more. You can feel your shoulder blades pull away from the spine and spread. Nice stretch on the belly. And then when you're ready, exhale, arms down. Palms up for a moment, Shavasana. And we'll draw the right knee in, hands around the shin, deep breath. As we come up, we exhale. And let's count to 6, holding the breath outside of the body. Inhale, come down. Notice if that was easy. And then we'll take the left knee in, do the same again. Take a deep breath. Exhale, come up. Let all the breath leave the body again. We'll count to 6. Inhale down. And then both knees in. I'll let you count to however long you want to with this one, because you might find that you go a lot further. So deep in breath. Empty as the breath comes up as you come up. Feel that still point, hold the breath out and counting. Inhale when you're ready to come down. So you might have counted 8 or 9 or 10. Just have a little rock side to side. Okay, while we're in this position, we'll take the feet down to the mat. And we'll have a little stretch with thread the needle. So let's take our right foot onto our left knee, or across, where the knee is, top of on the thigh. Okay, so hug round the left thigh with your hands, just clasp behind them, and then just bring that leg away, and we'll come into a little stretch here. Just notice how this feels. If anyone's in a flare-up of sciatica, this may not feel good, but it actually is quite nice for sciatica if it's not in flare. Take some deep breaths. Notice where you're tense in your body. And then we'll release, and we'll do the same the other side. So the left foot comes onto the right side, and same again. Now, you might not want to do the same. It might feel very different, especially some of you that do have sciatica one side, not the other. So just being very gentle, listen to your satya, which is truth. Ahimsa, non-harm. Asteya means non-stealing, so not stealing your energy now that you would have later on. So let's release. Hug the knees in again for a moment. We'll warm up. Let's take the feet and hands up into the air today. So stretching fingers, stretching toes, and then thumbs in, thumbs out, and then wiggling your toes. So just working fingers and toes, warming them up. Noticing where you can feel sensation, whether it comes down your arms. And then we'll flex, so wrists and feet backwards and forwards. Taking a nice pause and feeling that lovely stretch, really enjoying focusing on this part of your body with attention just here. And then we'll rotate. Feet and hands at the ankles and wrists. And the other way. Lovely. Lower your arms, keep your legs raised, and we'll cycle. Nice and gently. This is just a warm-up. We're just tuning into how the knees feel. And here you probably have to just gently engage the belly a little bit. You can feel that perhaps in your lower back. And then we'll reverse that cycle. Don't forget to breathe. Notice if you sort of naturally hold your breath. Okay, let's pop the knees in. Just hold them, just hug them for a moment. You might be able to feel where you've worked there. And then just take the left leg down or the left foot down, whichever you want to do. Raise your right leg. And then we're going to do big circles. See if you can follow your big toe with your gaze. Your head will move a little bit here. And then circle the leg in the opposite direction. Does it feel nice to cross the leg across your body and swing it out wide? How big can you make your circle? And what do you notice in the hip as we do this? And so let's swap sides. Take the left leg up. And again, notice if you can get as wide a circle, or if maybe there's a bit of resistance. Is there a tightness in your hamstring that doesn't lift the leg as high? And another way a few times. This is where you notice little differences in your sides of the body. It's where I certainly notice little differences, these simple movements. Okay, let's hug the knees in for a moment. Just take a little rock. And then we'll roll up to seated. We'll do our upper body. So either on cushions or not, whatever you prefer. And just take your time to come to a stillness. Maybe close the eyes. Let's connect back with our breath for a moment. There may only be a few times today that you're really aware of your breath, and it might be throughout your class today. And then if you consciously think, oh, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. But I would have thought most of the rest of your day will be unconscious with your breath. So let's take our chin down, pausing and enjoying that lovely stretch in the back of the neck and the upper back, and it might spread across your shoulders. And we'll take the chin up and then down again. And then take the chin up again. And then come back to centre, tilting the head right and left. Let's do the same again, right and left. Enjoying a lovely stretch. Coming centre, and then just looking over your right shoulder. Try to keep your shoulders straight. There's a tendency to twist them, but just notice what flexibility you have with moving the head. Same again, both sides. And then as you come back to centre, we'll take the chin down, and then whichever direction you normally go in, just go the opposite direction for the full head rotation. There's always a couple of crunches here. Sometimes I get stuck. I have to kind of reverse and then go forward again. You might find that happens sometimes too. Lovely for your throat centre. When you're ready, just coming back. Okay, so we haven't done the elbows, so we'll just do these ones. Just notice how your elbows feel today. And then hands on the shoulders and we'll rotate. Working our heart centre when we do shoulders. When we do the neck, we're working with Vishuddhi. So we're actually balancing a lot of our chakra energy with just little things we do. Okay, so let's do our eyes as well. Take your right thumb out in front of you, and then we're going to go up. Try and keep your head level. Actually, put your other hand under your chin, because then I think we can tell when our head's moving. So try and keep it so that you can see your thumb. Let's go round to the side. So go clockwise, take your thumb out to the right. Notice when you start losing it out of your vision. And we'll come down, give the eyes a lovely workout here, and we'll bring the thumb back up in front of you to centre. And then let's swap over. So take your left thumb out and put your right hand under your chin, because I think that keeps us stable there. So we'll go up. So just your eyes moving, following your thumb. We'll swing out to the side. So follow that lovely round circle that we're making. And all the way down. Notice when your thumb kind of goes out of your vision, it might disappear, and then we'll come up. Lovely. And then you can release. Can you feel that in your eye muscles? It's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to wiggle our jaw as well. Let's just make our jaw go. Just do a few circles. It's hard to talk and do that. Make a few faces. It feels nice, doesn't it? You can't.
I said that's why I clench my teeth.
Do you? Yeah. Yeah. Do you? Yeah. Yeah. Every now and then, just sort of get a little wiggle like that. I don't know. So with that, okay, that's just led me on to let's do lion breath. Okay, so we won't do it where we come onto our knees. We can do it in another way. I like to sort of bring the paws up, and we'll just sort of lean forward a bit. We don't have to come all the way down. But the whole thing with lion breath is the eyes are wide, and we stick our tongue out. So, and often I sort of, you can't see anyone else when you're doing that because your eyes are all wide. So let's do 3. Okay, so a deep breath in. And just rest your hands on your legs. Oh. So the eyes feel quite refreshed. We've stuck the tongue out, we've stretched our face a little bit. All these funny things that we can do. Okay, lovelies. Let's come on to all fours for a gentle cat-cow stretch. Pad the knees if you need to, or roll the mat up. And I love cat-cow as another warm-up practice because it really kind of just warms up your spine, and all of our chakras align along our spine. So neutral spine, let's tune into our breath, the in and exhale. It's lovely just to kind of get into the flow of your breath. And then on your next exhale, you start to arch into stretching cat. Push your hands into the earth. Feel the knees connected. Feel the tops of your feet connect to the mat. And then belly drops as we inhale into cow. Notice if you've got any little twinges in your spine. And maybe you'd like to close your eyes here. Thinking about how your spine is moving. If you could actually imagine the structure of the spine and the vertebrae pinching and squeezing the cartilage one direction and then the other. This is very nourishing for your back and your nervous system as well, which at this time of year can be overstimulated with all the lights and music and intense food and socializing. We can become very overstimulated. Let's come to a stillness. Just draw yourself back to Hatha Balasana. Have a nice stretch here. Keep the arms nice and long. And you can feel your shoulder blades pull. And take a few deep breaths and enjoy that breath into the back of your body and the back ribs. Side ribs expand. Lovely. Let's just gently lift your head. We're going to take the arms over to the right. So a nice kind of come forward facing. And then just wriggle your hands over to the right. Just gently feel a stretch through the sides of your arms and the side of your body. And we'll take them back through centre and just wriggle them over to the other side, the left side. Taking a few breaths. You feel that in the ribs, that nice stretch there. Let's come back to centre, walking your hands back in towards your body. We'll turn the back toes under, have a little stretch through the plantar of our feet. That so often gets forgotten. And while we're at it, let's just turn our hands towards our feet as well and get a nice little stretch through the inside of our arms. Not too intense. Don't do it so that this hurts. So just looking at me if you're not sure. If you've got any wrist issues, don't do it. Okay, let's just turn that back round and come to standing. So I think early part of the class, it's always nice to get ourselves moving. We'll start with a sun salutation, hands to heart, deep breath in and open. We'll do it nice and slowly, it won't be taxing. We'll float through the movements, forward fold, bend your knees if you need to. Let's take a moment here just to hang like a rag doll. Hands to the mat, level with the toes if you can reach there. How does it feel to stretch through the back of your body? Feels nice. This is lovely for your bladder meridian. Bring hands to shins and let's lift the back and flatten the back and just slightly take our gaze ahead of us. And then we will lower the chest back down, hands to the mat and the right leg goes back and the knee comes down. The hands stay on the mat and then we just sort of lean into this lunge, gazing upwards towards the sun. Nice stretch here. So we turn the back toes under. Plant your hands down and bring your left foot back to down dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Lifting that tailbone and feeling strong through the arms. Nice deep breath in Take the knees down. The bottom comes back to your heels. And then as we breathe in, we flow into, let's come into Sphinx. Let's take a nice gentle exploration of our back here. If you need to, take the elbows wider. If you need to come down further to the mat. How does everyone feel here? We okay? Notice if your chest is sunk between your shoulders. See if you can kind of have some structure to the chest and the ears are pulled away from your shoulders. And you probably find a little bit of tension in the back and the buttocks. Okay, let's bring our hands under our shoulders and we're going to turn the toes under, come up into down dog. From your knees, if that feels nice as well. Okay, let's just walk the dog here for a moment. So pace your heels up and down and see if you can enjoy that lovely stretch in the back of your leg. And you can swing your hips a little. Let's come to stillness. Okay, this is the hard part sometimes. We're going to take our left leg between the hands. Take a moment, we're not going to rush through this, so just take your time to come into the pose, looking up and then bringing the right foot to meet the left. We link our thumbs, sweep up. Okay. We'll do the other side, see how we go. We go by the energy of the room. Okay, so deep breath in. And release the arms. Inhale. And forward fold. Now take it nice and gently, especially if you are twingy in your spine. And then lifting the back, looking ahead, flatten the back. Left leg goes back. Hands on the mat, gaze up. Nice stretch. Okay, down dog. Grounding the hands, lifting that tailbone like someone's got a rope tied to your tailbone. They're really lifting you up. Deep breath in. Knees down as you exhale. Coming all the way back, still on that exhale. Flow through into Sphinx. Again, we're taking our time. It feels nice to feel each pose rather than whiz through each posture. How does the lower back feel here? Hopefully not painful, but you might feel some tenderness. Okay, down dog. Take your time, come up onto your knees if you need to first, and turning your toes under, we come up. And then when you're ready, the right foot comes forward. Take your time. Bring your left foot to the top. That's the hard part for most of us, that bit. Okay. Let's have a lie on the mat. So we'll lie down. So let's just tune into our breath. While we're here, let's do a breathing practice which allows us to just rest as well as tune into the pranayama, our breathing. So, 3-part yogic breath, where we breathe a third into the belly, a third up into the chest, and a third up towards our collarbone, our clavicle area. And you can bring hands on the body if you wish, otherwise you can just breathe this way. At the top of that breath, you just have a lovely, slow, long exhalation out. Feeling your belly expand like a balloon, then the chest expand and the ribs move outwards. And then you feel that lovely little subtle topping up towards the collarbones. Very calming breath. Notice if you actually exhale all the breath. or whether you go into the next breath with still some breath in you. Let's draw our knees in. Just come back to normal breath now. Have a little rock. It's nice to have a little bit of time just to feel the body recover from a sequence. And so while we're here, we'll come into bridge and then maybe come up for seated twist. So bridge, palms are face down at the sides of our body, engaging pelvic diaphragm and pulling in gently on the belly. By the way, when we do this, we're actually engaging what we call mula bandha. And the bandhas are locks, or where we lock energy in our body. It goes into yoga philosophy a bit more deeply, but yes, mula bandha, which is like muladhara, that root chakra. So engaging. When you're ready, we're going to breathe in, push through the heels, gently lift the body up. And we'll pause here. We're going to take 2 breaths. So nice deep breath in. Exhale. 1 more breath in. And on the exhale, we'll roll down. Nice. And consciously, like you're placing each vertebrae down with precision, keeping that tailbone curled forwards. Let that lumbar come flat to the mat, and then it rolls up as you roll the tailbone out. Okay, we're going to do that again, but what we're going to also do is bring our shoulders up to meet the spine a little bit more. So push through the heels as we inhale, come up. And then see if you can just shuffle your shoulders a little bit underneath your back. So you're bringing them towards each other. And you'll notice there's a lot more of a lift in your chest towards your chin. Let's take 1 long deep breath here. And on the exhale, we part the shoulders and we roll down again, really slowly, so that you're really feeling the muscles. You're preserving that tension in the buttocks and the thighs. And then roll down with consciousness. Feels lovely. Feels like you're really connected to your body. And we'll just do one of those again. So breathe in, come up. If you can, again, just bring the shoulder blades underneath the back. The upper arms come towards each other and feel a lovely lift. And you can probably feel a lot more tension in your buttocks and the thighs. 1 long deep breath. Exhale and part your shoulders, and then just let everything slowly roll down, still holding that activation in the muscles and the back and the buttocks and legs. And then you can find Shavasana. Take your legs out. Feel that lovely buzziness in the backs of your knees, the backs of your thighs. You feel your buttocks working, even from just those 3. It's nice, that pose, because you can either do it quite slowly and have that static pause, or we've done it in the past where we've just sort of flowed up and down with the breath. So depending on how you want to strengthen your body or just flex the body, you can use bridge pose. We call it Setu Bandhasana in Sanskrit. So let's draw our knees in, have a little hug. Feel that nice relief in the lower back. Nice stretch through the buttocks here. So we're going to roll up to seated, and then we'll do a twist from a seated position because it's a little bit more, you feel it a bit more. So I'm going to face you with the legs out. Walk out the pads of your buttocks so that your sit bones connect. Okay, so we're going to bend our right knee, pop it over the left knee, and then if you still feel like your sit bones are connected and you're still quite level, then that's great. If you ever feel like you're tilting or one's lifting, you can always just bring it back to the other side. But I think most of you look quite level and okay here. Gentle flex in that front foot, and we're going to feel it more. Left arm hugs. Nice tall spine. Right arm comes behind. So using our breath, as always with our yoga, Breathe in, lift. Exhale, twist. And just glancing over that shoulder. Again, here you can notice how far your vision goes. As you breathe to the belly, perhaps you feel the belly pressing against the thigh. There might be a lovely stretch around the left back ribs. Just tune into where you feel it personally in your own body. When you're ready, we'll take a breath in and we'll come back to the front. Just lean back for a moment and just observe. Where do you feel it? I can feel it all here and here. Have a little wiggle. Okay, come to seated again. So left side now. Pop the left foot over the right knee. Lovely length to your spine. So if we were to twist like this, we're just compressing our spine. So we want that lovely lift, like someone's pulling me up here. And then right arm hugs, left arm comes behind. You can feel that lovely structure of your spine, can't you? Lift and then just rotate. Where do you feel your breath go naturally in this pose? Do you feel like it's very belly orientated? Yeah. It's nice how different poses will induce kind of where the breath naturally goes. Does it feel the same as the other side, or can you kind of feel different sensations? Is it more flexible or more resistant? Let's take a breath and come back round to the front. This time just lie down for a moment, because after any twist I find it very important to just let the spine reset. And maybe you can feel really quite vibrant. So if you close your eyes and you know where the chakras are, you might, we've worked with root chakra because we're on the floor. Definitely the sacral and the Manipur chakra, the solar plexus. The arms are being used, so heart comes into it, and we're turning the head, so neck. So it's lovely for you to kind of tune into where we're balancing the energies of our body, as well as just putting ourselves in strange postures. Maybe it feels quite nice having stretched through the back. So let's draw our knees in, have a little rock. I'd like to come to standing and do another sequence, and then we can come back down to the mat and do some more stretching. So in your own time, just join me standing. And I think what we'll do this time is the moon salutation. Okay. So very similar. Val, face me, lovely, because you've got to go back on the mat. It's a mirror of the sun salutation, apart from bringing the arms up. So let's join our hands at heart. Deep breath in and release the arms. And this is very linked with our feminine side, the side of us that's creative and passive. So lifting the back, looking ahead. Hands down, right leg back. Some teachers will teach the left leg back first. It's very different. Bring your hands onto your knee. Whichever one goes back first. Hands on your knee, and then when you feel stable, we can come up into that crescent. Maybe just let the legs sink and the hips sink a little bit. See if that feels nice. It's a bit of a balance. Okay, lower the hands. We're going to come into down dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Deep breath in. Knees down. buttocks back to heels. Flow into cobra or sphinx, whatever you prefer. We've already come into a back bend. Lovely. Down dog. Take your time moving into each posture. We're not in any rush. Okay, left foot forwards. Right, for those of you that troubled, just have a go at just maybe lowering that back knee. Only if you're in this pose, and then raising the arm. Okay, feet together at the front. I know, that's the worst part of this sequence, isn't it? It's getting that leg through. It's all right when the leg goes back. It's that returning, isn't it? I know, you know. Okay. Other side, then you can lie down. Deep breath. Folding forwards. Lifting the back, flattening the back, looking ahead. Left leg back, knee down. Hands to the leg, to the thigh, just so that you come up and you can balance. And then shift the hips, see if you can sink. Lovely, hands down, down dog. Just adjust your feet, take your time, ground your hands. Deep breath in, knees down, buttocks back to heels. Flow into cobra or sphinx. Up into down dog. Okay, right foot forwards. Only if you can, don't worry if you can't. Those of you in this pose, raising arms. And then feet together. And we salute the moon. Well done. How do you feel? Well, now. Actually, I did have in my mind that I'd do a few of those today. Lie down. Let's have a rest.
That's the best bit, isn't it?
It's the coming down to the mat. Yeah. Well, you always know with me that we do a bit, we rest. We do a bit, we rest. And it's a lovely yin and yang. So here, let's do Ujjayi breath. So do you remember Ujjayi, which sounds like Darth Vader, that kind of snore in your throat? So if you can't actually automatically get it, you can tuck your chin in gently, which restricts the airway, and then you start to kind of breathe in that snore. Close your eyes. They call it ocean breath as well, because it sounds like the ocean. You know, when you hold a shell up to your ear when you were children, you do that and you can hear the sea. It's a bit like that. So just release Ujjayi breath. Some of you will find it comfortable to do for any length of time. Others, it might aggravate your throat after a while. It's a lovely warming breath. Each to their own. Everyone will have a sort of a favourite pranayama breathing practice. So let's bring our knees in together. Let's have a nice rock. Another lovely pose from here, we're coming to Happy Baby, which is nice and stimulating for our sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, and our hips, very good for the mobility of our hips. Let's just rock from side to side. Happy Baby, do you know this one where the feet, knees come out and then we've clasped the base of our feet or just around the ankles? You see happy babies do this. Let's draw our knees in, have a moment to just feel what you feel. It doesn't take long to feel that lovely sort of warmth at the tops of our legs, the hip creases, hip flexors. Okay, let's come up. You've all got your bolsters. So I know that you all love butterfly, and choosing whichever variation you prefer. So legs over, legs under, or the bolster against the head. It's nice to, in a yoga practice, enjoy some movement, get the heart rate raised a little. Flexibility in a twist. Side stretches are lovely. What do you most enjoy about this pose, those of you that like it? Notice if there is...
Everything feels relaxed.
It's a nice relief in somewhere, isn't it? Notice your breath. Just follow your breath for a little while. Can you enjoy the breath coming into your belly and then moving up into the front, back and side ribs? Can you let your head become heavy and just release and relax the neck a little bit? When you're ready, let's just lift out of this pose and lie back for a moment. And just feel what it feels to have compressed the body like that. We've had a nice stretch through the back of our body, a flex into the front and our belly. Where do you feel warmth or cold? Tingling or fuzziness? This is our chi, our prana, just gently moving through, like blood flows through our veins and arteries. We have a complex network of what we call nadis, or they're very similar, are meridians that flow through our body, energetic channels. And when our energy becomes blocked in places or it is lacking, it's where we often sort of an ailment will surface and reveal itself. These blocks in our energy body can come around with emotional issues, childhood trauma, situations that have never been resolved. Anything like that can cause a block in our emotions. If we never felt safe as a child, then maybe we would have a lot of blockage in our root chakra, which is very linked with fear. Sacral can be very linked with guilt, if we feel guilty. Solar plexus, it's shame. So all these energy centers, they're not just physically linked, they're very emotionally linked, and it's like a holistic network that we can be guided by. Let's draw our knees in. Have a little rock. I'd like to come up and to seated and revisit something that we did a few weeks ago, which was the movement of breath in our body with our different hand mudras. So I shall just remind you. Because I don't think Rowena was here for that one. So, okay. So chin mudra. Turn hands down, palms down. We'll pop it in sort of the crease of tops of our legs around the groin. So, and just relax. And as you close your eyes and just breathe, notice where the breath naturally feels like it goes, where we're directing the breath. And you may notice it's very much belly orientated. It feels easy to go breathe, and it's the belly that feels it perhaps most. Okay, so opening your eyes. We're going to, it was the three fingers. So still holding there. And then again, just same place, turn the hands down and then pop it into the crease of the groin there. Breathe again and really notice where it shifts. You might find that it naturally feels like it's occurring a lot more around your chest. So just by changing the hands, the mudra, and the direction of that the fingers are linked, it feels very breath in the chest. So release that. Thumb in, fingers round. Same again. Just breathe. Notice where this feels like it goes in your body. And you might notice it comes up to the collarbone. It's a very, very top breath, top body breath. Can you feel that? Yeah, it's different. Okay, release that. Now what we're going to do. So with the same hands, bring the flats of the hands together, knuckles meeting, and then pop it under your ribs. Just close your eyes. And maybe you notice that it feels like the breath is accessible in all of those areas, belly, chest, and collarbone. Isn't it interesting how just changing our hands and the placement, just release, you can blink your eyes open, how that changes the movement or what feels like the breath in your body. So give your hands a little wiggle. Okay. Let's do Nadi Shodhana. So we'll do it this way. This is not often I teach this, but it's often how a lot of other people teach it. So just bring the first two fingers to your third eye and just close your eyes for a moment and just circle the fingers in one direction and maybe a few times in the other direction. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put the thumb over the right nostril and then the ring finger, just hover it over your left nostril. Okay, so first of all, let's actually open the right nostril, so release the thumb and just close the ring finger on your left nostril and just explore how it feels through the right nostril. Try and breathe to belly. Notice how that feels. Okay, close that nostril with your thumb. Open the ring finger away from your left and just explore how that feels. Whether it feels more open. Okay. And so what we will do is we'll start Nadi Shuddhan with this in this way. So right nostril is closed with the left open, breathe in. Then close both nostrils, hold the breath a moment, open the right and then exhale. And we're just going to pause with the breathe in, close both nostrils, open the left, exhale. So carrying on. Just a short pause, a little bit longer than we normally would. And on your next exhale through your left nostril, we'll release. Just relax your hand down. Give your nose a little bit of a wriggle.
Yeah.
Might need to give it a little rub. Very different from the way that I teach with the hands-free one, which I prefer. I prefer the hands-free one. But with that method, you do have the opportunity of kind of holding the breath a bit more because you have pinched both nostrils closed. So you can practice the retention of the breath on the exhale or the inhale if you ever want to. It's not very nice if you're you're a bit snotty or you're you wouldn't want to do that mid-cold. But it is another way that most people will teach. So not everybody teaches this way. I think this is a much nicer way. Okay, lovelies, time to relax. Let yourself lie down. Get yourself comfortable. Cushions, blankets. We've done quite a bit of lovely movement today with a couple of good sequences and some... Yeah. I was going to do some stretch through the belly, but I decided not to. So, but we did twist. Twist is good for digestive system and belly. And a few of the sun salutation is very stimulating for your belly as well. The moon salutation, more for your sacral, which is linked with the water and the moon element. So today you can just relax back, let everything soften. You know how best you feel when you're comfy. And I have a lovely little book by the Dalai Lama, The Essence of Happiness. And I thought today, as I picked it off the shelf, that it might be nice just to read some of the little passages. They're just paragraphs, really. I believe that the very purpose of our life is to seek happiness. That is clear. Whether one believes in religion or not, whether one believes in this religion or that religion, we are all seeking something better in life. So I think the very motion of our life is towards happiness. The purpose of our life is happiness. That simple statement can be used as a powerful tool in helping us navigate through life's daily problems. From that perspective, our task becomes one of discarding the things that lead to suffering and accumulating the things that lead to happiness. The method, the daily practice, involves gradually increasing our awareness and understanding of what truly leads to happiness and what doesn't. purpose of our life needs to be positive. We aren't born with the purpose of causing trouble, harming others. For our life to be of value, I think we must develop basic good human qualities: warmth, kindness, compassion. Then our life becomes meaningful and more peaceful, happier. The concept of achieving true happiness has, in the West, usually seemed ill-defined, elusive, ungraspable. Even the word happy is derived from the Icelandic word hap, meaning luck or chance. The Dalai Lama's method for achieving happiness is based on a revolutionary idea that negative mental states are not an intrinsic part of our minds. They are transient obstacles that obstruct the expression of our underlying natural state of happiness and joy. I always believe we are the same. We are all human beings. Of course, there may be differences in cultural background or way of life. There may be differences in our faith, or we may be of different colour. But we are human beings, consisting of the human body and the human mind. Our physical structure is the same, and our mind and emotional nature are the same. Wherever we meet people, I always have the feeling that I'm encountering another human being just like myself. I find it is much easier to communicate with others on that level. If we can leave the differences aside, I think we can easily communicate, exchange ideas, and share experiences. So I'm going to just leave you with those few little messages that we all know. It's nice reminders. Think of what makes you happy and what brings you joy. See if you can create some images that just dance through your mind as you lie here. Just as you lie there, there's no need to move for the next few minutes. Just tune into your breath. I'd like you to just follow your breath. And that just brings you consciously back, very slowly, to your body, where you are. And notice if you have a lovely feeling of lightness inside of you, a sort of a very underlying feeling of joy or a bliss. Something that isn't connected to an external thing that makes you happy. Just notice if you can identify a real peacefulness within you. With that true self of who you are. Whether your heart feels light and open. If you're holding any negativity, just let it release out of through the soles of your feet. Anything that might underlyingly annoy you, irritate you, just let it go. Let it go in this moment. Come back to that feeling of bliss. And then gently just start to wiggle fingers and toes. Moving hands and feet, and maybe wiggle the jaw backwards and forwards, side to side, rotate the jaw around. Have a lovely stretch with the arms overhead, and then hugging knees in. Take your time, there's no rush, just enjoy gentle movement. Enjoying coming back into your day. What's the rest of the day going to bring us? Feel excited. So rolling up to seated, take your time. And we'll chant our 3 Oms. After the third Om, the Om is very linked with our third eye. It's the Bija mantra for a third eye. And when we connect with that silence after the third Om, it resonates with our crown. So that's why we do it. So when you're ready, nice deep breath in. And then draw the hands together, rub them vigorously, feel your heat, your prana. And then when you feel ready, palm the eyes. Feel the heat with the eyes closed, and then gently blink and feel that gentle warmth come into the eyeballs. And then we can blink and then part the fingers, start to let the light come through, and then draw our hands to our hearts. Om Shanti. Namaste.